As I sip my morning coffee, I had no idea that I was going to talk to you today about syphilis. I'm actually deep diving into it. I was watching the Travel Channel and they had a show on there called Alaska Triangle. And they were saying that back in the day, prostitutes were branded on their face if they had syphilis. I could not find anything, so if you have a credible source of literature that I can look up, let me know. But I did ask AI finally after searching. They said there was no credible evidence that Alaskan prostitutes were branded back in the day. And guys, if you run out of time, please go to my YouTube, The Carolina Diamond. Like, comment, and subscribe. This will be under the STD playlist. I found this incredible article by Anna Fahey, The Prostitutes Whose Pox Inspired Feminists. It goes into extensive detail about the Contagious Diseases Act, which really it ran for 10 years. This says 1864 to 1869, but it ran for 10 years. Y'all are not going to believe this. Let me show you something again. It says that in Victorian times, syphilis was believed to arise spontaneously in a prostitute's body as a result of immortality. And this is really when feminism began in London as a result of this, because women were being detained and punished because of the illness. Y'all, they thought it just came from the women, no men. Although if there are prostitutes, that means that men are frequently visiting prostitutes. But they did not blame the men at all. Not until much later. This is the first picture from back in that time of a 24-year-old prostitute who had syphilis. And that's why they said it came from prostitutes. They were put away in asylums. And if a policeman actually just walked by you and even thought you were a prostitute, they could immediately take you and inspect you. Now, the leading expert of that time said that a speculum was the most important tool they could use because that would actually insert it into the woman so they can really get a good look. But the women started to referring to the speculum as the government's penis. Crazy. Now, they did not start to think that it came from the men until a couple of things happened. One, a woman that was married who was not a prostitute presented at the hospital with syphilis that she had contracted from her husband. And then they started to see babies born with congenital syphilis because they got it from their mother. And who did the mother get it from? Her husband. All these drawings are of children with syphilis. And it's congenital syphilis because they contracted it from their mother. Crazy, right? So, as I stated earlier, 10 years later, when the woman that they call AG first entered the asylum, that it was finally repealed. One of the leaders of the suffrage movement, Christabel Pankhurst, believed the great evil of sexual disease could only be addressed if women gained greater independence and men observed the same moral standards as virtuous women. Get this, her campaign slogan, votes for women and chastity for men. Unfortunately, the woman that first entered the asylum when this all became a thing, she died a few weeks after she was admitted. So she never got to see any of this happen. It says postmortem shows that parts of the membrane around her brain had turned to jelly. Within a few weeks, her fellow patient lost the ability to speak. This is so sad. And this was a poster from back in the day, y'all. Men who know say no to prostitutes, spreaders of syphilis and gonorrhea, always blaming the woman. Now, if we move up into this century, this article is 2018, but I've also seen recent articles of this year as well. Alaska is having the largest outbreak in 40 years. So if you're in Alaska, please be careful.